assets of the current sitting Supreme Court judges have now been uploaded on the Supreme Court website. Assets including real estate, movable property, gold, shares, investments of the sitting judges and the spouses, along with joint family details, have been put on the Supreme Court website. 21 out of the 33 judges, their information is now available on the Supreme Court website. Assets of all the 5 collegium judges are now also online. Supreme Court has put the judges' appointment process out in the public domain. My colleague Anisha Mathur is now joining me on the story. Anisha, this is a big move coming in from the Supreme Court because the appointment process is something that the general public at large and the government also was raising fingers at for quite some time. Now the assets are out there on the website of all the 5 collegium judges online, and if we speak about the total number, 21 out of the 33 sitting judges' assets are now on the Supreme Court's website.
Well, yes. Remember, this is something that was decided several years ago, that judges would declare their assets to the public on a voluntary basis. This is, however, the first time that the assets of this many judges have been put online. Secondly, as you said, the process of appointment, where the files go, how this entire thing moves for the High Court as well as Supreme Court has been put online. And this is very, very important, since in the last few years we've seen a lot of finger pointing towards the Supreme Court by the government and by the Supreme Court towards the government on where the backlogs are, what kind of issues are created. Now, the Supreme Court on its website has also put in data of how many recommendations they've sent in the last 6 years to the government for appointment of High Court judges. How many of those are women? How many of those are related to sitting or retired judges, which is also a point where the Supreme Court has been criticized by the media. And what it also shows is how much time it really takes from the time that the recommendation is sent by the collegium to when the government actually approves it. And if you see the data, it shows that out of about 170 names that have been sent since 2022 to 2024, which is at least 1 year ago, about 17 names are still pending before the government. As far as names sent between November 24 and April 25 are concerned, there are 9 names that are still pending before the government. So effectively, they've put in public domain all the issues on which Supreme Court has faced attacks in the recent years, giving a very, very high degree of transparency. They've even given the performance appraisal template that they use as far as appointment and recommendation of judges is concerned. So this is going to be a very, very important step towards judicial transparency and ending the criticism of the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Anisha, giving us all those details. Assets of the 5 collegium judges now out on the Supreme Court website.